Across the world, machines are learning to fight, decide and strike. And the race to control them is accelerating fast. The next war may not begin with a human decision. It may as well begin with a line of code. Our next report brings you more details. Take a look.
Imagine a weapon that never sleeps, never hesitates, never disobeys. It selects a target, calculates a kill, and strikes. All before a human being has drawn a single breath. That machine exists. And 3 superpowers are racing to build more of them. A global contest to develop AI-powered weapons is intensifying, with the United States, China, and Russia pushing hard for advantage in next-generation warfare. Experts have compared it to the dawn of the nuclear age, only this time the weapons think. For the 2026 fiscal year, the Pentagon has requested a record $14.2 billion for AI and autonomous research. China is experimenting with letting AI make battlefield decisions on its own. China is developing systems for dozens of autonomous drones to coordinate attacks without human input. Similarly, Russia is building Lancet drones that can circle in the sky and autonomously pick targets. Putin has reportedly directed the Russian government to strengthen AI cooperation with China. Machines that can identify threats, select targets and act in seconds, faster than any human chain of command. This is where the danger begins. Because speed removes hesitation, and hesitation is often what prevents escalation. Experts are comparing this moment to the early days of nuclear weapons, a new kind of power, a new kind of fear. But with one critical difference. Nuclear weapons require a human decision. AI systems may not. The concept is already being discussed. Mutually automated destruction. A world where opposing AI systems react to each other in real time. No pause, no diplomacy, just action and reaction at machine speed. Humanity narrowly survived nuclear doomsday during the Cold War. Today, with artificial superintelligence approaching, we face a similar choice. Use it for progress and human benefit, or let competition lead to dangerous consequences. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
Moving on, reeling under the growing criticism of the fallout of the West Asia war, the US President Donald Trump has now found a new target. This time, Pope Leo is on his radar. In an unprecedented attack, Donald Trump described the Pope as weak on crime and terrible for foreign policy. Taking credit for his election as Pope, Trump said, and I quote him, "If it wasn't in the White House, Leo wouldn't be in the Vatican." Now, mocking the Pope for criticizing him, Trump said that he likes his brother, Louis Martin Prevost, more, as he's a MAGA supporter. Now, this is not all. He also holds the Pope to stop catering to the radical left. In fact, he told the Pope to stop supporting the radical left and stop being a politician.
Like a Pope that's going to say that it's okay to have a nuclear weapon. We don't want a Pope that says crime is okay in our cities. I don't like it. I'm not a big fan of Pope Leo. He's a very liberal person, and he's a man that doesn't believe in stopping crime.
Now, in another gesture that is likely to offend Christians, Donald Trump stirred a row by posting this AI-generated photograph depicting himself as Jesus Christ. Wearing a biblical-style robe, Trump is seen laying hands on a bedridden man as light emanates from his fingers. Even Iranian President Mossad Pezeshkian condemned the insult to Pope Leo and stressed that the desecration of Jesus is not acceptable to anyone. Pope Leo, remember, is the first US-born pope in history, has emerged as vociferous critic of Trump's decision to start military operations against Iran. For instance, in March this year, he stressed that Jesus does not listen to the prayers of those who wage war. In an indirect reference to Trump, he said, and I quote, "Your hands are full of blood." He's also dubbed Donald Trump's threats to wipe out Iranian civilization as unacceptable. Donald Trump's diatribe comes a day after the Pope denounced the delusion of omnipotence that is fueling the US-Israel war in Iran. While he didn't specifically mention Trump, his remarks were perceived to be directed at the US president and members of his administration who've justified this war in religious terms.
It is here that we find a bulwark against that delusion of omnipotence that surrounds us and is becoming increasingly unpredictable and aggressive. The balance within the human family has been severely destabilized. Enough of the idolatry of self and money, enough of the display of power, enough of war.
La vera forza si manifesta nel servire la vita.
Meanwhile, Pope Leo commenced a 10-day tour of 4 countries in Africa, beginning with Algeria. On board the flight to Algiers, the Pope made it clear that he will not shy away after Trump's attacks and that he will continue to speak out against the war. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has appointed a new spy chief, and it has sparked curiosity, debate, and a fair share of surprise. This latest appointment of the new Mossad boss breaks the traditional appointment, as Netanyahu has now chosen a military officer instead of a seasoned spy to lead one of the world's most secretive and elite intelligence agencies, the Mossad. So who exactly is Roman Goffman? Well, born in 1976 in Belarus, Goffman moved to Israel at the age of 14. By 1995, he had enlisted in the Israeli Defense Forces, joining the Armored Corps. He built a reputation as a disciplined and capable officer over the years. It saw him rising through the ranks to become a major general. Now, what makes Roman Goffman's appointment striking is his complete lack of prior experience in intelligence work. Unlike his predecessor, David Barnea, and most former Mossad chiefs, Goffman has spent his entire career in conventional military roles. At the outbreak of the October 7th attacks, Roman Goffman was commanding the National Infantry Training Center. He was seriously wounded during the clashes with Hamas fighters in Sderot. His injury and his presence on the front lines added to his image as a field commander rather than a strategic intelligence operator. Then in April 2024, Goffman transitioned into a new role within Netanyahu's office as a military secretary to Netanyahu. That move brought him closer to the political center of power. Now, he's widely seen as aligned with Prime Minister Netanyahu's nationalist outlook, which may have played a role in his selection. Interestingly, Goffman studied at the Eli Yeshiva in the West Bank, an institution known for its right-wing religious ideology. Goffman will formally take over on the 2nd of June this year as Israel navigates through one of its most complex security chapters in decades. The aftermath of the October 7th attacks led to deep soul-searching within Israeli intelligence community. Mossad escaped direct blame because it primarily focuses on external intelligence. Other agencies like Shin Bet and Amman faced intense scrutiny, with their chiefs resigning after acknowledging their failures. Roman Goffman is stepping into a role at a critical juncture, with soaring regional tensions intense and global scrutiny of Israel's foreign actions, and just months ahead, remember, of elections in Israel.